been Michael Brown's parents' lawyer. And, you know, I could tell he's having a hard time really defending a lot of what's going on. And, you know, he's criticizing the process, but he's part of the process, you know. And people that are familiar with the process knows how silly he sounds. But I think there's a bigger thing going on here, and I think I understand what it is, and there does seem to be a pattern, even though I don't think this particular incident is part of that pattern. It looks like it could be, and if you're on that side of the aisle, you could definitely call it part of the pattern. And so I want to start off pointing some things out. Rodney King. Look at what happened to Rodney King. He got the fire beat out of him, man. And I mean, that was ridiculous, and everybody that had any sense agreed that was absurd. Overreaction. You know, lucky it didn't kill the man. They looked like a pack of animals, you know, just trying to beat this man to death. Okay, and these cops were found not guilty. Outrageous. Completely outrageous. And I'm on that side of the aisle. I think that is completely outrageous. You know, I think those cops should still be in jail. You know, even though Rodney King's passed away, but so that's one, right? What's another? Trayvon Martin. Look at this. Look what happened here. You know, Trayvon Martin, unarmed kid, the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, was shot by a armed security guard that lives in a state that doesn't require training. And this guy found not guilty. And now we're finding out what kind of a moron this guy is and what kind of a hothead this guy is. And now we're thinking, maybe we got it wrong again. Because this guy is a piece of work. You know, you all know the deal. You know, he's been pulled over and picked up and arrested a few times since that happened. So there's another one. Gunned down, young kid, and it looks like to me gunned down and really was murdered. You know, that's just the way it looks to me. And then, check this out. What about Eric Garner? You know who Eric Garner is? Eric Garner is the guy that I think he was selling illegal cigars or something like that. He was, you know, he was breaking the law, yes. And so cops came to arrest him. And he's a pretty big guy. I mean, he's really, you know, he's like 6'6" or 7, probably weighed 400 pounds. I mean, this was a big guy, very overweight. Okay. And therein lies the problem here. And where I think the officer failed his duty. This guy didn't want to be arrested, you know. Who does? But he was resisting. So they had to use force to take him down and handcuff him. Well, there was 1, 2, 3, there was at least 4 I know of working on this dude. Grabbing his arms. Excuse me. I'm breathing in feather dust or something. So they're grabbing his arms and trying to get him behind his back. And one cop jumps up on this big guy's back and chokeholds him, which is not allowed. Cops are not allowed to do that unless they're in imminent danger. Okay? So he starts choking him, and they use their weight to take him down. Well, Eric starts telling them, hey, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And if any of you have ever had something happen, had the wind knocked out of you or something, and you couldn't breathe, you know how awful that feels? I've woken up. I have sleep apnea. I actually, use a BiPAP machine. But before I got diagnosed, I would wake up from time to time at night like my breath had been knocked out of me. And I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't get my breath. And I would hop out of bed in a complete panic, trying to get my breath, feeling like I'm about to die. That is a horrible feeling. Okay, and I'm a big man too, and I know what it feels like to be out of breath. So this man is being taken down by 4 guys, one's chokeholding, and he's screaming, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. They don't let up. And they continue on. And, here's the thing, which, I don't know, evidently cops don't realize, that when you're not taking in oxygen, you know what that does? That causes your heart to say, what the heck is going on? And then it decides to attack you for not giving it oxygen, and you die. That's why my mother passed away. She couldn't breathe, and it caused her to go into cardiac arrest. That's what happened to this guy. He couldn't breathe. And he was telling the cops he couldn't breathe. I can't breathe. The cops should... I know a cop will say, well, people say that all the time to get out of a hole. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. They can breathe. Well, this guy couldn't breathe. Jerk. And because of it, he's dead. And these guys were not indicted. So, like I said, it's kind of hard not to see a pattern. I feel you. I see it. But this is not part of that. This was not a case of justice not being fulfilled. And you know what's sad to me? What else is sad? There's a lot of things about this that are sad. But you know what else is sad? And I haven't really heard many people talk about it. Is Darren Wilson. This man's life is ruined. And if it's true that he didn't do anything that he didn't need to do, he didn't do anything illegal. He felt like he was defending himself. He felt like Michael Brown wanted to seriously hurt or kill him. So if that is true, which I personally believe that it is true, that man was just doing his job, and now his life is ruined. His life is ruined. He's going to have to change his name. You know, it's going to take probably months or years before people don't recognize his face everywhere he goes. Probably going to have to grow a beard. You know, that's not fair. Well, it's not fair what happened to Michael Brown either. I know that's not fair. But, what caused it? If Michael Brown had just obeyed the officer's commands, it wouldn't have escalated. I don't believe for a second the officer wanted it to escalate to the point that he had to shoot this young man. I don't believe that. That's nonsense. If Michael Brown had have just obeyed the officer's commands, he'd still be living his life. His family would still be loving him every day, but that's not what happened. And now, because of that, one man is dead, and the other man's life is ruined. What a tragedy. A town is destroyed. A whole country is divided. You think about it. You're either on the side of the protesters or you're on the side of the cops. That's kind of the way I think a lot of people are looking at it. I don't think that's true. It's not the way I feel. But anyway, those are just some of my opinions. I've thought it out, and I've looked at it from many different perspectives, and that's just the way I see it. I do see the pattern that people are protesting and fighting for, and I support that. But I don't find this incident to be part of that pattern. And that's the way it is. Hey, listen, I really appreciate everybody listening to the show. We've been on the air now for, let's see, October, November, December, 12, 13, 14, about 14 months, a year and 2 months we've been on the air. And I'm very proud. I enjoy doing the show. And I appreciate my listeners. I appreciate those who take the time to call and chat with me. And I especially thank all of my sponsors and my supporters. Top Studio is a big sponsor of the Man Please Show, and actually produces and directs the show, Top Studio. And so you've been listening to the Man Please Show, and I've been your host, Trog. That's Trogdo. No, that's just Trog. Trog. Also, I broadcast live from Greensboro, North Carolina. And do me a favor. How about visiting my website? It's manplease.com. You can go there and listen to me cough a lot, too, if you want. Yeah. Visit my webpage. It's manplease.com. You can go there. You can listen to my latest show, or you can also listen to any archived show that I've ever done in the year and 2 months that we've been broadcasting. Check us out on Facebook, Man Please Show on Facebook. And also send us a tweet at Man Please Show. We just thank you for listening and tuning in and being a part of everything. I'll be broadcasting again Friday. I hope I ain't coming down with something. So I'll be broadcasting again Friday. So be sure and listen 3 to 4 to the Man Please Show. And be sure and give us a call and tell us what you think, too. 336-763-5482. Peace, y'all.